In 1948, a veteran turned his father's bike shop in Washington, D.C. into a baby furniture store. By the 1990s, that bike shop was the largest toy retailer on the planet.
The world's biggest toy store is Toys R Us. The biggest selection, Toys R Us.
1,800 locations, and 1 in 5 toys sold in the United States came from that bike shop. And then, in 2018, liquidated. Everything gone.
Just calm down, it's gonna be all right.
And here's the part that nobody talks about. Toys R Us was not killed by Walmart. They weren't killed by Amazon. They were killed by a decision many business owners make, and that is staying in what I call the messy middle. So, what exactly happened to Toys R Us? My name is Scott Monday. I own 3 businesses in the Central Valley, California, and I love making videos about business case studies like this. Today we're going to dive into Toys R Us and what you and I can learn.
I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid.
So the guy who built Toys R Us, his name was Charles Lazarus. Very biblical, I know. He was a World War II veteran, and he came back to Washington, D.C. and took his dad's bike shop and turned it into a baby furniture store. But very quickly and early on, people started asking for toys. And that's when he realized something that nobody else to date had realized, which was toys are actually a year-round product. Now, that sounds simple to you and I right now, but at the time, toys were really looked at as a Christmas-only type of thing. So department stores would stock them once a year, but that really left people scrambling for birthdays and throughout the course of the year as toys broke. So in 1957, he opened his first official toy store, Toys R Us. Backwards R, you know. And it was really a supermarket type concept. Shopping carts, aisles stocked full of toys, all those types of things. And retail historians really look back to this as the birth of the category killer. What does that mean? One store, one product type, incredible prices, and just a domination of the market.
It's showtime, babe. We're talking the Toys R Us grand opening.
So what happened? Eventually the mom and pop toy stores, gone. The toy sections of department stores, gone. In its place was a toy behemoth that was so impactful on the toy market that manufacturers actually came to Toys R Us first when they were about to launch new products to see if they could get shelf space. He sold diapers at a loss so he could draw parents in, and he cut prices to grow market share. He understood before almost anyone that the moat was actually scale. And by the 1990s, Toys R Us was a global juggernaut. You remember Jeffrey the Giraffe, I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. It really dominated the 80s and 90s for so many of us.
I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Hey, you just said the magic words. Now look what you did.
They had stores in Canada, in Europe, in Asia. They built the most dominant specialty retailer literally in the world. And in 1994, Charles Lazarus stepped down as CEO after 50 years, and that's when it all started to unravel.
Hey guys! Hello!
Come on, let's go!
See, in 1998, 4 years after Lazarus left, Walmart eclipsed Toys R Us as the #1 toy retailer in the world. Did you hear that? A company that didn't even specialize in toys, Walmart, beat a toy juggernaut. How did this happen? Walmart was just trying to draw people into their stores to sell more tires and groceries and clothing and things like that. And that was Toys R Us's downfall. Walmart could sell toys at a loss to draw people in and didn't really have to worry about discounting Power Wheels or things like that. And so the irony is that Toys R Us lost via the same strategy that they used to build themselves up in the first place. So what did Toys R Us do in response? Well, they tried to fight back online. In 1999, they had a pretty abysmal holiday season online. In fact, the majority of their toys they sold online in 1999 didn't arrive till after Christmas. Yeah, that's a bad look for the parents. So what did they do? They signed a 10-year contract with Amazon, and they were paid about $50 million to become the primary toy marketplace on Amazon.com. That's right. Their answer to the e-commerce issue was to actually sell their e-commerce soul to the biggest up-and-coming e-commerce company in the world. Yeah, smooth move.
Please, sir, I'm an endangered species.
It worked kind of, but eventually Amazon decided that they were going to let other retailers sell on Amazon.com. A lawsuit ensued, and Toys R Us actually won. They won $51 million in the judgment. But they had just wasted 10 years, 10 prime years of e-commerce business building in bed with Amazon. At the end of the day, it was simply too much to overcome. So in 2005, private equity came calling, which is typically kind of a death blow if you forensically go back and look at these business case studies. And what they did is they did a leveraged buyout. They brought on $6.5 billion worth of debt. And the annual interest payment alone for Toys R Us was $400 million. Well, what did that do? It sucked up all their cash, right? So they didn't have the money to invest in e-commerce. They didn't have the money to keep their stores up. And while Disney and American Girl were creating these like retail meccas, Toys R Us was starting to look like an old, tired brand from the past.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
And I can even remember as a parent when my kids were young going into Toys R Us and thinking, what happened to these places? They're dirty, flooring is coming up, and then pretty soon the shelves weren't stocked other than maybe half full. You could just tell that they were just at the end of their useful life. By 2017, Toys R Us filed Chapter 11, and by 2018, they had completely liquidated, 800 stores gone, and 30,000 people now unemployed. And Charles Lazarus, he actually passed away 1 week after the liquidation.
As Toys R Us announces their stores are closing, the company's 94-year-old founder dies.
At 94 years old, he only outlived his beloved company by 7 days. So here's what I keep coming back to. Toys R Us invented the category killer, and they themselves were killed by a category killer. And the real lesson here, it's not about debt. It's not about Amazon. It's about something that I see a lot of business owners struggle with, this idea of staying in the messy middle. You see, there's really 3 games you can play in any market. You can win on quality, you can win on price, or you can win on experience. And any successful business typically goes all in on one of those and wins. What Toys R Us tried to do is they tried to win at all of them, and they ended up winning at none of them. And I see this all the time in my own world with my own companies or people that I coach. They're trying to win on price, they're trying to win on quality, they're trying to win on experience. At the end of the day, they just can't seem to do it. They end up stuck in this purgatory, in this messy middle where the market doesn't really identify them with any of those 3 things. And at the end of the day, you simply cannot beat the competition that way. Here's another way of looking at it. If you were to write down your business's 3 greatest attributes, the things that customers love most about it, and then you write down the same list for your competitors. Are they the same thing? Is there a significant overlap? If there is, you don't have a competitive advantage. You're just going through the motions as a business. You're quite frankly mediocre. You see, Charles Lazarus, when he started, and as he successfully ran the business, he knew exactly the game he was playing. He was winning on selection. He was winning on price.
The low prices at Toys R Us have created incredible excitement.
And he wasn't so much worried about the experience, right? Because people wanted great selection of toys at a cheap price. And he wasn't so much worried about quality either, right? He was playing the numbers game. He was playing the scale game. He was driving prices down. He was offering an endless selection, and that's where he was winning.
Oh, neat!
Pretty soon, Walmart and Amazon ate his lunch because they became better at those same things. The bottom line is you have to pick your game, you have to go all in, and you have to stop trying to be everything to everyone. So what about you? Is your business stuck in the messy middle? Are you trying to win on quality, on price, and on experience? Drop your honest answer in the comments. I read every one of them. I'd love to hear your take on this. And if you want more breakdowns like this, more business stories, more tools that you can use to grow your $2 to $20 million business, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I produce videos like this every few weeks. I'd love to have you follow along. My name is Scott Monday. Thanks so much for watching.
Next time, let's just come to Toys R Us.
Yeah!
Once a Toys R Us kid,
Always a Toys R Us kid.